Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel Life, Spirit and the Mercy Middle. Now, first of all, I want to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel and for being here. I want to also apologize for not making any videos in the past month or so. Life has gotten a little bit hectic for me, and I was quite unwell for a while. I'm back, so just wanted to let you know that thank you for sticking around. Thank you for staying subscribed. I did lose a few subscribers, unfortunately. But hey, that's just how this so-called social media game, also they call it, is played. Anyway, normally on this channel, as those of you who are subscribed and have seen my work here know that we love diving deep into the mysteries of the world, from ancient mythology and forgotten civilizations to stories and theories that make us question sometimes what we think we know. We've basically explored everything from Mesopotamia and Egypt to ancient myths, lost histories, spiritual concepts, and ideas that many people dismiss, I suppose, even call it impossible and or call it conspiracy theories. But today, we aren't taking that deep dive, I suppose, into the ancient mysteries, because the energy and the weight of current events has required me to pause and look at what is unfolding around us. Now, we will absolutely be returning to those ancient mysteries, mythologies, and deeper conversations in future videos. But today, we are going to be focusing on the world around us and basically the changes many of us are actually feeling. Now, before I go on, just a quick note, everything shared on this channel is for entertainment purposes only and my personal reflection. These are my interpretations, the research I have gathered, and my beliefs. I am speaking as an intuitive, as an empath, and someone who truly believes we should never dismiss the truth and power that we hold within ourselves. Now, this is just simply how I see it, and of course, you are welcome to see it differently. Okay? Now, let me ask you, have you been looking at the world lately, scrolling through your phone, watching the news, or just feeling that really heavy energy in the air? And you found yourself thinking, probably wondering, oh my God, is everything completely out of control? How is this happening? I have too, and I want to stop and ask you to drop your shoulders, take a deep breath, let it out, breathe through it, and relax. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know, and many of us know, you are not crazy and you are definitely not alone. Okay? Right now, our world is in complete and utter chaos. We are basically witnessing proxy wars, starvation, historic climate shifts, and an economic squeeze that is making it so hard for everyday families to even survive. It is heavy, it is heartbreaking, and it is entirely real. I want to talk about the spiritual and structural truth about this. Well, about this behind the chaos. Because what we are actually living through right now is the ultimate literal definition of the apocalypse. Now, I know that word sounds terrifying, but unfortunately, pop culture has taught us that an apocalypse means the end of the physical world, burning buildings and total destruction. But its original ancient Greek meaning, the word apocalypsis, means something entirely different. It basically means the uncovering, the unveiling, the stripping away of the mask. And we are not living the end of the world, okay? We are living through what many describe, myself included, as a great awakening. And I know that is cliche because we have heard this for quite a while now. But we are smack bang in the ultimate messy middle of it, okay? And look, when I talk about the messy middle, I'm not just talking about international politicians, global events, or the breaking of news cycles. I am talking about us, you and me. I'm talking about the exact spiritual community of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers, and light workers. And just those of you who watch us in this community. I think we need to have a real, raw, uncomfortable conversation about the ego running rampant in spiritual spaces. People like me and people like you watching this, we are just as imperfect and human as everyone else. As politicians and elites and people that we are watching create this chaos. We all make mistakes. We all have egos. We have our own complex personalities and our own heavy lessons to learn in this lifetime. We catch ourselves judging others, even though we tell everyone else that we shouldn't. It is a human thing to do, and it is an ego thing to do. Now, I suppose in recent past, I wouldn't say so much lately, but throughout the time that I have been on YouTube, I've come across people in the spiritual community who act like they are completely enlightened and flawless. They are arrogant. They genuinely think that their actions, their words, and their specific work are the only true answers that is out there. They think themselves better than everyone else, in other words. And they look at you and say things like, of course, you can make up your own mind. But then they'll make these passive-aggressive, self-righteous faces on camera, acting like they are the absolute be-all of the spiritual or end-all of the spiritual truth. Now, from the start, I have expressed the fact that I am new to this. The community I have always been intuitive. I have always had special, I would say, feelings. I have always had spirit talk to me, although I tried to push it away. I didn't want to know. I have always had, visions. I have seen spirit through my mind eye. I have always had those things. I have all my life tried to push it away. And probably about 5 years ago, I began to allow myself to really feel these things, to really acknowledge that what was happening wasn't me going crazy, wasn't me thinking and making things up, but they were actually happening. And the proof of that is that when I've read tarot, when I have seen things and told them to people, they acknowledge them as being truth and things that have happened. I've seen people's family members in spirit, and I have told them, with a little bit of hesitation, I see this person and blah, 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 blah. And they go, oh my God, yeah, that's my auntie or that's my mum. So I've come to realize that I have a gift and I'm going to be sharing it. Now, that does not mean that I am perfect, because I have a temper. I am human with a human temperament. I am not going to pass up my right, okay, to speak the truth on this channel, because it is my channel. And I'm not going to be mentioning any names. I'm not going to be mentioning anyone specifically. But the truth is, we need to stop pretending that we are better than anyone else. Because, and I'm going to be very Australian here, your shit stinks as much as everybody else's does. Okay? Now, sorry, I had to be a little bit vocal. It's very Australian. And I am Australian, so bear with me. Spiritual bypassing and spiritual arrogance are just another mask, okay, that basically needs to be ripped off in this apocalypse. Now, none of us have a monopoly on the divine. We are all walking each other home. We are all beautifully flawed. And that is exactly what this global awakening is about. It's about shattering all illusions, whether it's self-righteous, guru, or a corrupt politician. If this intense chaos wasn't actually happening, humanity would still be completely blind to reality. And for decades, we have been living in what I call a gilded cage. We have been surrounded by distractions, constantly encouraged to focus on our possessions, our comforts, our status, and the next thing we need to buy, while deeper issues within our systems have continued beneath the surface. The powers that were, as I like to call them, they understand that as long as people are distracted, comfortable and focused on their simple surviving day-to-day life, many would not question what was happening around them. And we are and have done that exact same thing, myself included. We have watched a world develop where it often feels like there are different rules for different people, where those with wealth, influence, and power seem to avoid consequences that ordinary people are not allowed to or cannot escape. these elites, these powerful people who actually run the world, have created systems where decisions affecting millions of lives could be made by a small number of people, while everyday communities carry the consequences. They thought they could manipulate markets, control narratives, influence public perception, and continue operating without accountability. But arrogance has a way of creating its own downfall. By pushing us too far and placing even more pressure on everyday people, they have basically exposed themselves and the systems that they were actually trying to protect. So we have begun questioning and we have begun looking deeper. Everyday people began or have begun asking why the reality that we are experiencing does not match the stories that we have been told. Now, once we've started to ask these questions, the illusions have started, and their methods of control have started to become much harder to maintain. And this is basically the veil slipping. And if you think that these issues are only happening far away, I'm in Australia. So far away for me is Washington and London or other parts of the world. We need to think again, because even here in Australia, in my own soil, I look at what is unfolding. There is so much corruption here, from our own Prime Minister rushing laws to fit the narrative of a certain small group. And, for example, in Victoria, there is a Premier called Jacinta Allen. Now, her administration has faced significant political controversy and scrutiny, including referrals to the state's anti-corruption watchdog, IBAC, over major projects and allegations surrounding governance, spending, and transparency. Now, she's not the only one. We have our own big orange turd, that I like to call him, in our parliament too, in our government. Now, I have someone that I follow that you will probably follow too, called Libby from Meister Tarot. She likes to call her the Orange Harpy. I will refer to her as the Orange Harpy too, if she doesn't mind, because honestly, she really is. Oh, no, she actually refers to her as the red-headed harpy, I think. Perfect way of, depicting her, because she is definitely a harpy. Now, this is where people begin to kind of question the relationships between political decisions, public trust, and accountability, okay? We are living in a time where people are making and asking difficult questions, or basically asking difficult questions, and not getting many answers in return, to be honest. We need to hold our leaders completely accountable and ensure complete transparency. How are we going to reconcile the values of governments that they claim to uphold with decisions they make on the world stage? I don't know. Like I said, I am completely and utterly just human like you. But we do need to make them accountable for the decisions that they make for everyone else, for us. I'm going to talk about the many questions of how these international conflicts are being handled, including the ongoing devastation in across Gaza, the West Bank, and now Lebanon and the wider region in the ME. Okay. Now, the reason why I mentioned certain things, I won't say certain names because I get flagged. That's happened to me before. And then, I don't get monetized for these videos, but I also don't want my words and my videos to not be sent out so that more people can see them. Okay. And while these governments, institutions, and international bodies are continuing to debate, these accusations and legal findings and human concerns, we are, you know, we are watching these events unfold with our own eyes. And there is a growing feeling of frustration, confusion, and definitely distrust. Because when people feel that our leaders are saying one thing while doing another, it creates a disconnect between those in power and the people they represent. They think because they hold the titles and the power, people simply accept everything they are being told. But like I said before, people are questioning. People are paying attention. And that is how the old systems begin to feel the pressure. Okay? Now, I follow astrology. I love astrology, but I do not make my own charts. I basically follow the celestial cycles and I find it absolutely fascinating. And I do believe wholeheartedly in astrology. Now, I don't do charts, like I said, but I will say that I intend to, in the future, learn to do astrology because I do strongly believe that in the future, we are going to be having astrology and other forms of what society now calls occult practices in our school curriculums. Now, I'm not saying this is like in the next 10 years, but I do feel like within the next 20 to 30 years, this is going to happen, okay? Even within that time period. Now, my own work through tarot, energy reading, and my connection to spirit is very valuable to me. So just like astrologers use their charts to express what they feel is going on, I use tarot and my intuition through tarot to express what I feel is going on. And right now, what I feel is going on is just like the tarot card, the Tower, okay? We are moving through a period of where old structures are being challenged, where, hidden issues are being brought into light, and where many people are questioning the systems they basically once accepted without even hesitation, okay? The powerful are trying to maintain control, while ordinary people around the world are becoming more aware and asking questions and reconnecting with their own intuition. And I completely understand that the messy middle is extremely painful. It is turbulent, and it requires all of us to look within ourselves, not just at the world around us, because awakening is not only about seeing what is happening externally, but it also is recognizing our own patterns, our own ego, our own fears, really, and our own responsibility in creating a better future for not just ourselves, but our loved ones and everyone around us. This is going to become a community effort, okay? It is the future that we cannot simply ignore and think that replacing one form of power with another is acceptable, okay? It has to be about humanity reconnecting, communities becoming stronger, and people remembering that their own voice truly matters, okay? Now, with this being said, I want to now move on to tarot, which is, I guess, part of my channel and where I look deeper into energies that are surrounding us and what we've been discussing, okay? Now, I'm just going to, if you bear with me a little bit, I'm going to just pull this microphone a little bit further away. Now, I'm going to do the Rider-Waite Tarot because it's my go-to. I love these tarot cards. And as you can see behind me, I have many, many tarot and oracle cards. But these are the ones I really just go to most of the time. And today, I might pull some oracle cards. Now, I did these the other day because I recently just got them and I did them the other day. And they were so spot on with the questions that I was asking. Now, oracle and tarot are a little bit different. I think oracle goes deeper into what we need to know instead of what we believe we need to know. Okay? Sometimes tarot can, because of the energies of the reader, and I'm sorry about the, wobbly. I'm doing this at my kitchen table. So bear with me. But because of the energy of the reader and how the person feels, sometimes that energy can carry into the cards and basically tell us what we want to hear. So I try to minimize that, as much as I can, by asking questions that we need to hear, not what we want to hear. Okay? Now, there's a few things going on. So I am going to ask, first of all, I really, really want to know, which is important, I think, to some of you, is Mitch McConnell still alive? Okay. Now, I don't normally ask questions about people's deaths. I don't really wish people harm at all. But I'm going to ask and see if the tarot cards can answer me. And we'll go from there. Because there are a few other things. Like, I'd like to know if apparently this military aid and integration that Israel and Trump wanted to, I just said the name and I'm truly sorry, but anyway, that this country in the Middle East, who basically fights with all their neighbours constantly, wants to join apparently the US military. They kind of want to integrate. And I don't think many people want that. I believe many, many, many Americans do not. The majority of Americans do not want that. and apparently a bill was passed. Bill was not passed, actually. So I want to look into that as well. I also want to look into a bit of my own nation's current affairs and see what we can find out about that. Okay, so first of all, can Spirit please tell us whether Mitch McConnell is still actually here with us, or if he has passed on. Is Mitch McConnell still here with us, or has he actually passed on? Now, this one was going to fly, so I'm going to take it out. It is the Seven of Cups. And already, that's giving me a bit of a story. Is Mitch McConnell... Oh, another one. The Four of Cups. Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. One more. Oh, okay. Two more have flown out. Actually, that's too many. I'm sorry. I had all these cards flown out, and that's just too many. So I am going to put them back. And they really want to talk to me today. Okay. Just one or two cards, please. One or two cards, if you can. Is Mitch McConnell still with us today? Or has he passed on? Okay. And I got the card. Now, granted, this card doesn't always mean what it says it means. But in this instance, I'm going to say it is, because the first card I got was the Seven of Cups. Now, this card has a couple of meanings, a few meanings, but one of them is illusion and delusion, and basically being delusional and trying to cover things up, okay? Or reality is being distorted, okay? And what I think he's trying to say is that no, whatever image they came out with and whatever they're saying about his being alive or not is false, okay? Again, the Four of Pentacles, a card of trying to hold on to whatever it is that you've got. And in this instance, I believe, is they're trying to hold on to the lie a little bit longer because they need to hold on to the lie. Otherwise, it's just going to be even more chaotic than it is for them at the moment, okay? And I can tell you now that Congress is in complete and utter chaos. This administration, not just actually the Republican Party, but the Democrats, unfortunately, are in complete chaos as well, okay? And then we have the death card. And basically the death card is telling us, in this instance, that he's gone. That's it. He's gone. He's no longer with us. And I have to admit that I don't normally like to wish anybody harm. Yeah, I have no feelings for this one whatsoever, as well as Lindsey Graham. None whatsoever. I do not have any pity, for these people, unfortunately, because they have committed so many crimes. They have caused so much harm. And they were just very horrible human beings. So, as any Australian would say, no shit's given. Okay? Right. Now, let's move on. Will the orange turd administration go ahead with this merger, because I really want to know. Oh, okay. Right. So I got these two cards that fell out: the Emperor, the Temperance, and the High Priestess. All right. I'm gonna keep those. Wow. Okay. Will the Orange Turds administration go ahead with this merger anyway, regardless of what Congress has voted for? Because I believe the Democrats finally stepped up and said no. Okay, we've got the star. And I pull one more. Is this merger actually going ahead? Will they still send that country with a blue and white flag in the Middle East? They're billions more that they don't need, but the American people do. Okay. Got one more card. Oh, okay. So I got the Hanged Man. Now, let me go and have a little... Now, when I go quiet, it's because I'm trying to listen, okay? So, what I'm getting from these cards is that there are a lot of things that haven't come out yet. There's some sort of mystery around this because there's more involved, I believe. They're trying to make us believe that it's just, you know, trying to help their allies merge so that they can become more powerful. But I don't feel that that's the case. I feel this is a complete and utter takeover. This is their way of trying to legally, and I'm talking about that blue and white flagged nation, okay, to try and legally, completely take over the United States of America. This is what I am getting. This is the hope that they have of getting through, but they had the stalemate. Okay, now I don't know how long, because I'm sure that this is going to come up again and again and again until the Americans change the way they vote and put people in that are not so capitalists and so pro that nation. Okay, this was a stalemate, so I don't think they can. But this is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to do. They are trying to legally infiltrate completely, not just a little bit here and there, completely. They want, let's just put it this way, Dinetti, his government wants to control. He is the president of the United States. Okay? But not legally. So what he wants to do is to legally be the, what I normally call, be all of the end all of the United States. I don't think it went well for him. I don't think it's going to end well for him. Let's pull out another card. What will be the outcome of this? Will they continue, or will it end here because his government is going to be collapsing too? Will this be the end of it? Will this be the end of it? Okay, so I got this card. It jumped out. I don't know if you saw it. Sometimes it happens. And basically this card is telling me no, it's been put to rest. For now, anyway, it will be put to rest. And I think I'll just pull out another card. Will it be put to rest completely for good? Yes. 100%. 100%. It's a yes. They thought they could get in. Congress voted no. I'm so glad that the Democrats actually, did something this time. Okay? But it's a no. They may try, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? Okay. Now, I wanted to ask about Iran, and when is this war going to continue for a long time? So tell me about the war between Iran and the United States. I'm just shuffling, guys, okay? So tell me about the war with Iran and the United States. Can you please tell me about the war with Iran and the United States? The war with Iran and the United States. One, two, war with Iran and the United States. Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I'm getting like, so the cards that I got were the Empress, the Lover's card, and the Queen of Pentacles. And I don't know why, but I'm getting a very strong female empowerment here. Something about women getting together to end this war. Okay? I don't know why. But it has to do with women, okay? It has to do with something new that's going to come up where women are going to join together. And I'm talking about women everywhere, not just in Iran, in the United States, because I have a feeling these women are watching their sons and daughters dying for a cause that was never meant to be fought over, because the Strait of Hormuz was open. Before all this happened, there was no issue with getting oil through. There was no issue with boats going through, getting oil, getting supplies, nothing. Until that disgusting orange turd and the other disgusting human lowlife from that country with a blue and white flag in the Middle East, okay, decided to create chaos, because it wasn't enough chaos created with other nations that they have destroyed, like Algeria, Syria, Libya, Iraq, okay, Afghanistan. It wasn't enough. They needed to create more chaos. So I have a feeling that this war is going to end. Something is going to grow through from women coming together and doing something about this. I'm just going to pull out another more card. Am I on the right track with this female empowerment stopping the war? Am I on the right track in regards to somehow this female empowerment? Okay. No, I'm not going to take, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take those cards because they were not really out. I pulled them out, but not. I want to ask, am I on the right track? Am I on the right track? Oh, okay. Listen. Okay, I'm going to show you. This card came out like this. And look, I don't know if you saw the other cards that kind of came out, but one of the cards that wanted to try and come out, I put back in was this one, okay, the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is spirituality. It is institutions, yes, but it's also spirituality, okay? And it's almost like it's telling me that people's spirituality, people's love and compassion is going to be what is going to end this. Listen, I'm only reading what the spirits are telling me. I'm only getting what the spirits are telling me. And it's almost like religion has nothing to do with it, okay? They want to be able to show that this isn't about religion, that this is just women sick and tired of constant wars, of losing their children. And they are going to put a stop to it. I'm just saying what the cards are telling me, okay? I read cards intuitively, so this is what the cards are telling me. This is going to stop because women are going to make it stop. Somehow, in some way, they're going to get together and they're going to make this stop. That's just what I'm getting, okay? I'm sorry. And please take what resonates with you. And I don't normally like to say this. I do say it. It's not how I really feel, because I think that the cards, when they say something, they're telling its own truth. And we are quite welcome to believe our own truth, okay? And whatever we get out of it. And please, if you read the cards yourself, by all means, tell me what you think these cards are trying to say. You're quite welcome to leave me a message and a comment down below. Please do. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I'm going to ask one more question before I pack up and leave for today, or end this for today. Now, I want to know, we are having issues with our free speech here in Australia, very much so. I want to know if this suppression is going to continue, or if you Australians are going to say no and fight for our freedom of speech and just our normal freedoms of being able to fight for what's right. Will Australians say no to suppression? Will Australia say no to suppression? Will Australia say no to suppression? Okay. Okay. First card that I pulled out was the Strength card. The second card I pulled out was the Seven of Wands. The third card I pulled out was the Four of Pentacles, and I will pull out another card to clarify this. But what I'm thinking this is trying to tell me is that Australians are going to use their strength, their convictions, and their beliefs to fight whatever is coming, this suppression. Okay, whatever they're trying to do, it's not going to work. Australians are going to fight through this. Okay, they are trying to hold on to whatever it is that they think they believe is their rights, and we are fighting against what we believe are our rights. And I want to pull out a card as a clarification. Will we? Oh. Yeah. Okay. I just got pulled out this card that wanted to come out. I will pull out another one. They're going to walk away from this. Okay. They're going to walk away because it doesn't make any sense. Whatever they're trying to do, the Royal Commission here in Australia is basically trying to make laws so that we have no right to protest against what is basically happening in Palestine. Okay, we are very vocal about what is happening in Palestine. We are not, and you know, they're trying to make this out that we are being anti-Semitic by being against the Jewish people. This has nothing to do with the Jewish people. Australia is not anti-Semitic. We do not dislike or hate Jewish people. We do not dislike or hate Muslim people. We do not dislike or hate Hindus. We hate the ideologies that make us believe that there is only one right religion. There is only one right way. We're not blind to what's happening in the world. Okay, we know that this particular government in this nation is committing and the G word. Okay, we know for a fact, so many scholars, so many people with, you know, with the UN, people that know what they're talking about. Okay, there's filming, there's videos, there are witnesses to everything that these horrible people in that blue and white nation in the Middle East, because of their ideology. Don't get me wrong, I don't really truly blame them, because they have been brought up from birth. They have been indoctrinated into this ideology. So, you know, it's only normal that they really believe in what they're doing and that they have convictions in their beliefs, okay, of what is good and what is bad, that they have the belief that they are superior to everyone else. And that is our belief that they are not, okay, that we are all equal. And this is why they need to walk away, because we are not going to stand for whatever it is that they're trying to put on us, whatever lies that they're trying to give us. They're now trying to suppress our journalists, the ABC, and another news channel, from what they basically say is they're being biased. Speaking truth is not being biased. Showing people what is actually happening is not being biased. I'm sorry that we're not talking more about how, this nation is making new tech. What's more important is, because we don't really care about that, what's more important is what they are doing to the nation they are occupying, okay? To the state they are occupying, the country, the people they are suppressing. And I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm going to stop now, okay? I get very passionate about people's rights, people's determination, people's sovereignty and their rights to exist, no matter what nation, no matter what country, no matter what sex or religion you belong to, okay? I'm going to leave it there before I completely and utterly go off on a tandem. I haven't, I kind of do that a lot, and I apologize. Now, I have been doing this for a little bit. I haven't, done this for a very, very long time. I know it's been over a month since I did a video. And I apologize for that. But, I've got a life of my own. I'm a carer for my daughter. I'm a carer for my elderly father. I have my own unfortunate autoimmune diseases, and there are times where I find it even hard to get out of bed, and I still have to look after two people and a little dog, my little puppy, my little dog. So I apologize if I can't always make videos. I hope you can understand. I hope that you stick around. Please comment, please subscribe, please follow and share if you can. I would be so appreciative. I will link down below my Buy Me a Coffee page, which if you would like to leave a little donation, that will help me create more of these videos for you, and also help me with other projects that I am doing at the moment, because I am on a pension. I just also want to remind people, anyone who has seen my other videos and have watched me talk about a book that I have written, I have taken that book off the shelves, not because it is bad or anything like that. I was with a publisher called Balboa Press. Unfortunately, in my opinion, they did me dirty, and they just wanted more and more money. I gave them several $1,000s to publish my book, and I thought, as a first-time writer and author, that I would be helped to promote and get my book out there. They did absolutely nothing. It just sat on a shelf and it went nowhere. So right now I took it off the shelves. I've got my rights back, and I am revamping and just re-editing whatever they mucked up. Okay? Possibly even changing the cover. So thank you so much for sitting with my raw honesty today. If these messages resonated with you, please again hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below. I would really love to hear from you, and your thoughts are very welcome here. Even if, they're just telling me about how you're navigating through this messy middle. And if there's a particular civilization or mythology or mystery or even topic that you would like me to research and do for you, please, by all means, put it down in the comments. I will love to go through. I love researching, so I do a lot for my book as well. So please leave me a comment on that, what you'd like me to research, what you'd like me to look at. because your feedback means everything to me, and it helps me to basically continue building this community together with you. Okay, stay grounded, keep your eyes open, always stay in your truth, no matter where you are in life or even in your personal journey. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Love you all. Bye for now.